How you doing? I'm Mike Leister. I'm a test examiner here at Lake-Sumter State College. Today I want to film a short video on how to do the brake check properly on your pre-trip inspection. So for this process, the first thing that we're going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be turning my ignition to the on position. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and look at my dash and see that my ABS light on the dash, as well as in my mirror, I'll see that my ABS light on my trailer has come on. And if my truck were equipped with a DEF function light, I would go ahead and call that at this point as well. Now, before I start my vehicle, I'm gonna go ahead and just make sure that my brakes are locked and my truck is in neutral. And I'm gonna fully start my truck. Now, what I'm doing at this point is I am building air pressure in both my primary and my secondary air tanks. And I'm shooting to build it up to the range between 120 and 140 PSI or until the governor kicks off. And I can go ahead and assist it a little bit if I need to try to get that pressure built. Okay, at this point, I heard that my governor has kicked off, and for this particular vehicle, it occurred at about 135 PSI. So you'd want to tell that to your examiner. Now, the second step that I'm going to be performing is going to be my air leakage rate test. So for this test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the ignition off, and I'm going to turn the key back on to the power or accessory position. I'm going to note that the gauges are sweeping, so I know I have power to it, and I'm going to go ahead and push in both my tractor and my trailer valves. This will charge the system and send air to both the tractor and the trailer so that I can do the next steps of my test. So while that's settling out, I want to make sure that I get some type of timing device. You could use a phone, a stopwatch, anything like that. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be applying steady pressure to the foot brake and holding it steady. And once my needles have stabilized or stopped moving, I will tell the examiner and I will start a 1-minute timer. In this 1 minute, I should not lose any more than 4 pounds of pressure in the system. So let me go ahead and show you how we do that. Steady pressure to the brake. I'm going to hold it still. And now I'm going to be watching my gauges. Now that my needles have both stabilized, I will now begin a 1-minute timer. And like I said, in this 1 minute, you should not lose any more than 4 PSI of pressure in the system. Okay, so at this point, I would show the examiner that my 1-minute time has elapsed, and I would verify that I lost about 3 pounds of pressure in this particular vehicle. So for the next test I'm going to perform, it's going to be my low warning alarm test. For this test, I'm going to be fanning my brakes continuously and allowing air pressure to drop, and my alarms should activate somewhere at 55 PSI or above. So to do that, like I said, we're gonna fan the brakes. And now that my alarm is activated, I'm gonna tell my examiner that it occurred around 62 PSI in this vehicle and it's working properly. The last test I'm gonna perform is going to be my emergency brake test. For this test, I am going to once again fan the brakes until pressure drops all the way down to the range between 20 and 45 PSI. When it reaches that range, both my tractor and my trailer brake valves should pop out. So we're gonna go ahead, leak it down. Okay, both my tractor and my trailer valves have popped out around 30 PSI, so everything in the system is working correctly. Now at this point, once I've verified that everything is good with that, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna restart my vehicle. And what I'm doing here is I'm allowing pressure to be built back up so that I can physically test the brake systems on the truck. I'm almost built with pressure up, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit. We're just building that pressure back up to where we have a full tank so that the brakes will fully release for the next check. Now what we're going to do now is we are physically going to be checking the brake function of the truck and trailer. So to do this, we're going to be looking at the valves. Now, a lot of people do tend to get confused, newer students, about the valves themselves. This is going to be the trailer and yellow is going to be your tractor. An easy way to remember it that I've kind of taught to my students, if you think of a traffic light, yellow always comes before red, just like the tractor will always come before the trailer. So it's a little easy way to kind of remember it if you get confused. But what we're going to be doing is testing these functions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test my trailer brakes first. The way I do that is I'm going to leave the trailer brake out and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push my tractor brake in. This is going to allow the tractor to be able to move and keep the trailer brakes locked. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put the truck in drive and I'm going to do a very gentle tug just to make sure that the trailer brakes are holding, which they are. Now I'm going to go ahead and reverse that. I'm going to pull the tractor brake out and I'm going to push the trailer brakes in. This is allowing the trailer to be able to roll and the tractor to stay locked. Now I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to put it in drive and I'm going to do a very gentle tug and I'm going to see that my tractor brakes are holding properly. Okay. Now, the very last thing we need to check is going to be our service brakes. For this, we are going to push both of our tractor and trailer valves in. This allows the entire vehicle to be able to move. We're going to pull forward at 5 miles an hour and we're going to apply the brakes. And when we do, we want to loosely hold our steering wheel to see if the truck would not only pull left or right, but also that it stops appropriately. So we'll go ahead and put our truck in drive. We're going to loosely hold the steering wheel. We're going to pull forward 5 miles an hour. Loosely holding the steering wheel. And when I reach the 5 mile an hour mark, I'm going to just slowly apply the brakes. And I'm going to see that my truck did in fact stop smoothly and that my truck did not pull to either the left or the right. So that would show that all of my brakes are working properly. And this would be the end of the in-cab inspection. So if you like the information that you've seen in this video and you want more information about the CDL program we have at Lake-Sumter State College, you can find us at lssc.edu/CDL. And if for some reason you're at another program or you're just looking for some information, I hope this video was helpful on what you're needing for your CDL journey.